With the use of more and more lithium-ion batteries these days, today I'm going to show you how you can avoid thermal burnout in these batteries. Now, many products use lithium-ion batteries these days. This new electric motorcycle I just got has one. I do have to say it's pretty cool. My electric bicycles all have them. My Toyota Camry Hybrid has one under the back seat. My electric trimmer has one. Ryobi, it's a pretty good trimmer. My little baby trimmer has one. And even my blower has one. Now, to begin with, you want to make sure the product you're buying has good lithium-ion batteries. In this case, we'll take off the battery cover. Pushes off. There we go. This particular battery is a Samsung. It's an excellent battery. You don't want cheap knockoffs. And the battery in my Toyota Camry is a joint venture of 51% Toyota and 49% Panasonic. So, quality. You want to have a quality battery. You don't want a knockoff, made in China, the cheapest thing you can get. It's very important that you have a quality battery in the product you're using. Now, I found this Thunder Sky to be a quality product. Even though it looks like a car battery, it isn't. It's a storage battery. So you can use it with solar panels, wind turbines, whatever, to use out in the country or wherever you want to use it. And it's a quality product. I've had these things for years. I've never had any problems with them. But of course, I take care of them. You saw how clean the terminals are. I have my Altel battery checker. I check them every once in a while. And if they show that they're starting to have problems, I take them in to get recycled and get another battery. I don't push the lifespan. If they show that they're getting weak, that the battery cells inside are starting to go out, I get another battery. I'm not going to chance it. As I said, you can see how ultra clean these are. Corrosion is the biggest enemy of electricity. If you get corrosion on terminals, on any connectors, it takes extra energy to get to the corrosion, which builds up resistance, which builds up heat, and can cause a fire. So, cleanliness is a big deal with these battery systems. But thankfully, unlike lead-acid batteries that vent acid, the acid corrodes, these don't have acid in them, they don't vent. So the terminals themselves, unless they get grass on them if they're on a lawnmower or get all wet for some reason, they're not going to corrode like an acid battery will. So that is a good thing. But it's very important to recharge them correctly, because it's the recharging process that's the most dangerous. When you're charging the battery, it can get hot. They've got a lot of safety things in them. They really do if they're well made like these. Now, and the Samsung ones and the Toyota ones, they don't have any particular problems, but you don't want to tempt fate. Now, this is my Altel battery charger for cars, right? We're plugging into electric cars, but it just lives here. If you notice, there's the plug. I don't have a plug inside the garage for it. There's no way I would ever charge lithium-ion batteries inside my garage for something as big as a car. If it went up, there goes your house. Now, in that respect, you see my garage is all fixed from the previous fire, but that had nothing to do with battery. I had the garage. This used to be where my garbage cans were. And the stupid plastic garbage can started on fire, burnt the outside up. It's enough. The insulation that I had, it used to be all white, now it's new, saved all this. This didn't burn up. Even though the outside was burning, this kept the inside from burning, and the fire just went up. So old Scotty has learned a lesson. Look how nice it is now. It's all landscaped. There's no garbage cans. The garbage cans have moved their residency. The garbage cans now live way over here, far away from the house and garage. There they are. They now live way over here. That had been a grass fire. The stupid grass clippings ignited. We got a lot of rocks in the ground here. Riding lawnmower must have hit them and smoldered. Then the grass started on fire. So it's way over there now. And I have special pits that I put the grass in that are far away from everything. So that's not going to happen again. Back to the charger for electric cars, it just lives here. Here's where it charges. It's moving to its charging position. The charger's here. There's the plug here. That's where you plug it in. And you'll notice one thing. It has a really long charging cable. So you can plug it far away from the garage. Now, lithium batteries can burn really hard. They can start at like 380 degrees Fahrenheit. Then they can go into a thermal runaway if they really start going, and they can get well over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And once thermal runaway starts, it can even get up to 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. That's really hot, so you want to prevent that from happening. So when you're recharging, make sure you have the correct electrical connections. In this case, for electric cars, right here, I never do it at more than 40 amps. You can set it what you want to charge it. So, as you can see, the new panel has two 50 amp fuses. It's only going to use 40, so perfectly fine. And I do have to say, Mr. Lubrano did an excellent job wiring it. The guy knows his stuff. Never overload them. Now let's say you're charging smaller things like these electric bicycles. Here's my little rave bike. Here's the rave charger. And what does the charger read? Read what is on it. It says input 100 to 240 volts. In this case, it's 110 volts. 2.5 amp max. When you plug it in here, this is 110 volts. It's using a 20 amp fuse right there, 20. So when you plug the charger in here, it's only using 12.5% of the rated capacity, so that's perfectly fine. You don't want to plug something that's using more amperage than the fuse is rated for. Charge it outside. So I'm going to use an extension cord so it'll reach. And am I using a cheesy thin one? No. Using a super thick one. Then it goes into the bike. Don't cheap out when you're messing with electricity. Okay? This is okay for a lamp or something, right? But this is thick for charging. Charging, especially a big one like this electric motorcycle, you can see right here. You can charge it at 100 to 240. I'm charging it at 100. And it's 15 amps. So in this case, you really want to use the 20 amp one here, which is this side, because the side over there is only 15 amps. And you're kind of pushing if you're going to the max. And here's a trick I learned with these electric motorcycles, okay? Here's the battery. You can either unplug it here and charge it directly, or if you use a special charger that has a plug on it, you can plug it in here. But before you charge it, you want to turn off the circuitry. It's a nice circuit breaker. Now the power's off and you're only charging the battery and it's not connected to all the electronics. I'm very careful myself, so I've never ruined the electronics, but I've seen people do that. They'll have the circuit on and something goes wrong, like if they have a surge of electricity from outside power, lightning or whatever, it can ruin the electronics and cost a fortune. Once you turn that off, the power only goes to the battery, nothing goes to the little electronic computer controllers and all that on the electric motor in the back, and you won't damage anything. Now let's say the worst thing happens, and one of these lithium batteries starts smoldering. Well, in that case, if you have a big fire extinguisher like this, ABC. Now, it's not going to put out one that's gone to thermal runaway that's, 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Forget that. That's why you do it outside. You would just run away and call the fire department. You don't want to get involved in that. But if it just starts smoldering, you can spray stuff with this, and you could also get your garden hose and hose the heck out of it. Because if it just started, it hasn't gotten to thermal runaway yet. And if you hose with water, the water cools it down, and once it gets below a certain temperature, it'll stop burning. It's the heat that keeps intensifying and intensifying. It goes to thermal runaway. It's too late then. That's the main reason I tell you, always charge these things outside. Push comes to shove, it's making a mess. Hey, it's doing it outside. The fire department can get to it faster. If it's in your garage, goodbye garage. That's why I tell people, I would not charge an electric car inside my garage. If it goes out, whoosh, probably take your whole house. Those things burn so hot. You need to learn a few things about lithium-ion batteries if you're going to use them. And of course, you want to try to prevent them from starting fires in the first place. That's why I'm making this video. But if a big one ever starts, great if it's outside in the driveway. Run away, call the fire department. Don't try to be a hero, because these things, you can't even see them sometimes. And they're burning, they're so hot, you can't even see it. You might squirt it, oh, it's out. Then you go back in the house, woof, everything goes up, starts back up again. If it's outside, you're much safer. And of course, if you have an electric or hybrid car, heat is the enemy of the batteries. So, in the case of this hybrid, it's not a plug-in hybrid, it's just a regular hybrid. You never plug it in yourself, but it's always being charged up, and it's got to cool itself down. So make yourself cool as a kitty. Find where your air vents and filters are. Pop off the cover. And there's a filter right here. Now, it's not dirty. That's just activated charcoal, you can see. See, it's totally clear when you put it up to the sky. But it gets dirty every once in a while. You can clean it out and replace it. Air has to circulate through in order to cool the battery. And there's another tip. If you have animals like our Peeps the kitty, she has a lot of hair, travels in the car, you're going to get dog, cat hair in here. Clean it out so it doesn't clog up. Of course, remember, especially if you're charging something big like this electric motorcycle, only use the charger it came with, right? 100 or 240 volt, 15 ampere hours. You put in something that's got a lot more amps, maybe you're in a hurry, you want to charge faster, don't do that. Use only what it's rated for, and the correct plugs, and keep those plugs clean. Dirt, corrosion is an enemy of electricity. Dirt and corrosion makes more resistance, creates more heat, creates problems. So, now you know how to prevent thermal burnout. With lithium-ion batteries, they're all over the place. Take care of them, charge them correctly. They can last a really long time, but you don't want to go up in flames. Follow these simple procedures and you shouldn't have any problems at all.